Okay, let's move on and talk about filters. With filters, you can greatly alter the appearance of an image. They can be stacked to create more complex effects such as paint effect, abstract effects, textures, and much more. Effects such as the blur, speed effects, distortions, and that kind of things can be achieved using filters. And in this episode, I will show you how the filter gallery works. And the difference between adjustment layers and filters, both of them create effects on your images, but the difference between the two of them is that adjustment layers can only modify attributes that an image already has, such as the contrast, the saturation, the brightness, the white balance, and things like that. While filters can add new effects to your images. They can create more abstract effects. So let me just show you how that works. Let's click open, and inside our stock images folder, we can work with this image of the car. In fact, any image will do, so you can open any kind of image that you have on your computer. Filters can be accessed from the filter menu up here. So you cannot use filters as layers. What you can do though is use them as smart filters, and I'm going to show you that once I talk about smart objects a little later on this course. But for now, you can access filters from this menu over here, and you can see a list of filters. Now I'm not going to go through all of them because it's just a matter of you going through them and try them on and see what you can do with them. But just to let you know, we have the filter gallery, which is kind of a something apart from the rest of the filters, because if you open it, if you click here, it's going to open a new panel. And here you have even more filters. You can expand this and you can see you have more filters, and this is what I meant by it adds effects to your images. You can see, for example, the texturizer does this kind of effect. If you use the cutout, it's gonna do something like this, and each of these filters has its own set of settings. Okay, and as I said, you can stack them, but only if you go into this filter gallery. So once you're in here, you can apply one filter and then click this new layer effect. This will create another one, and you can choose from a different one, and that way you can combine these filters, and for example you can create a new one and now maybe just use the cutout, but you will see that once you start to stack them, all sorts of weird effects start to show up on your image, which is great. You can create really cool effects. And the nice thing about this is that you can spend some time here and try different combinations with different settings and get all sorts of abstract effects, and you can even record an action, or you can save this so that you know which combinations you used, and that way you can create all sorts of effects for other photos. Okay, let's click OK. This is the filter gallery. As I said, this is just a matter of trying them, and that's it. Important thing, once you apply the filter, it's going to affect your image. So this is a destructive technique. Remember on the previous episode I talked about destructive and non-destructive techniques. These are destructive techniques unless you use smart objects. Now I'm just going to show you what that means, and I'm going to talk about smart objects a little later on. I'm going to undo this, and by default, remember that photos are opened as a background layer. I want to click here this lock icon to turn it into a normal layer, and you can see on the history I have this new step called make layer. I'm going to right click and choose convert to smart object. Now as I said, I didn't talk about smart objects yet, but for now just a quick introduction. So I now turned this into a smart object. Nothing happens here on the canvas, but the behavior of the smart objects now is different. If I go back to filter, now the important thing to note here is that after you apply any kind of filter, the first item will be the filter that you already applied. So you can reapply that filter with exactly the same settings just by clicking here. So I click here, and you can see it's going to open my filter gallery in this case, because this is the one that I used. And here I have the same settings. I'm going to click OK now, and it applied that filter. Now notice that now this is a smart object, and you can tell that by this little icon on the bottom right. Now if I expand this, you can see I have filter gallery over here. So what that means is that now I can go, if I double click here, I can go back in here and change the settings. Okay, so I can change the settings here and reapply it. And that's what this is now a non-destructive edit, because I can modify it whenever I want to. So that's the difference between applying these filters to normal images or to smart objects. Let me rasterize this. So let's move on. I'm gonna rasterize the layer to turn it into a normal layer. And here we have even more filters. For example, these are for corrections. Adaptive wide angle, I rarely use it, but you can make corrections on your images depending on what camera you used, and you have a few presets. The auto detects the lens that you used when you made the photo. And then, for example, we have the camera raw filter, which is really a powerful one. It's just like having Lightroom inside of Photoshop. Here we can make lots of edits and we can completely change our image. It's just like an image editor inside of Photoshop. So we can make all sorts of edits here and change the colors of our image. And it's a really powerful filter. Maybe I should make an episode only specific about the camera raw. Then we have this list over here, which for example, the blur and the blur gallery are pretty much the same. The blur gallery is new in Photoshop CC, and you can create more realistic blurring effects. For example, on the fill blur, it's just like the Gaussian blur, but the way it renders is a lot more realistic, especially on the edges. So if you're new to this, you will not notice the difference between this one and the Gaussian, but it does work better. And here we have a few other kinds of blur. For example, we have the iris blur, which is just going to blur the image. Let me just uncheck the fill blur. So you can create different sorts of blur from here. For example, we have the spin blur, which allows you to create spin effects. Let's expand this so you can see what I mean by that. You can make this wheel, for example, look like it's spinning. Okay, so you can see what that does, and you have a set of controls here, and you can see the effect that I created on the wheel with that filter, which is really nice. And then we have the creative filters. For example, this is the facet filter. Some of them do not have settings, so you just apply them, but most of them do. So for example, on the pixelate, I could choose crystallize, and it should open, this panel here, which allows you to, well, it's just a quick preview of what the effect does, and that's it. So it's just a matter of just go through them and try them on. This is you can also download filters from the internet and install them in Photoshop. This is the Nick collection is really a famous filter. I never use it. I have it, but I never use them. And these are all the filters. As I said, I'm not going to go through them. Just go ahead and try them. It's really that simple. Just go through them. For example, the sharpen, you can sharpen the image and make it look better. So this is what you do with filters. You can create all sorts of abstract effects, and of course you can combine this with layer masks. And so for example, you could create a copy with Ctrl J and apply a filter gallery. Let's click OK, and then create a layer mask and paint the effect out. For example, with the brush, with the B key, you select the brush and paint with black, for example, where you don't want this effect to be visible. Let me just reset my brush. Okay, so you can combine this with other elements on your Photoshop arsenal. So this is what filters do. Have fun, and let's go with the next episode.